Voice of Industry.
Voice of Industries.
Daniel, welcome to Voice of Industries. I'm glad to have you today to share your vision of digital transformation in industrial operations. Could you please introduce yourself and your role at Capgemini?
Sure. Thank you, Mathieu. Very happy to be there as well. I'm a senior director within the Capgemini Engineering, Smart Factory and Intelligent Operations COE. And as such, I'm leading the manufacturing intelligence offering, which is also the reason why I'm involved in our partnership. I've been shaping and launching Industry 4.0 transformation programs with a focus on data-driven operations for the last 10 years now, in many companies ranging from automotive to life science or CPG.
Nice. Today, I'd like to explore one facet of Industry 4.0, digitization, and specifically how it transforms organization. It's quite surprising that despite many industries adopting digitization-related technologies, there has been little transformation so far. What has been your experience with this?
Well, indeed, Mathieu, for the first few years, almost a decade ago, companies were concerned by and focused on technology and technical feasibility for their use cases. That has changed. That has been slowly changing, however, and most of our customers have become aware of the fact that you need to transform your organizations, your operating model, the way of working in order to achieve sustainable benefits out of your digital transformation.
Having said that, what leads industrial companies to fail in their digital transformation journey?
Well, we've seen four common causes preventing the companies from actually achieving success in their digital journeys. First, the fact that these companies consider the initiatives as an IT project, where indeed it should be and it has to be a business-driven transformation. Of course, it's going to be led and executed by a multidisciplinary team. However, it is still a business-driven project and not an IT project. The second reason is that some of the companies, and mostly those which failed, are approaching the transformation with a technology-focused only mindset. That is, they look at what can technology do for me, what is the solution capable of, rather than starting from the business problem, the business challenges that they have, and look for solutions to solve them. Indeed, what works well is a combination of a solution searching for a problem as well as a problem searching for a solution. That way you get the best of both worlds. You are raising the awareness of what technology can do and therefore figuring out new use cases you would never dream of. And at the same time, because you're going from the bottom-up problem-solving approach, you will fix what are your known business challenges. That is how you get the best bang for your buck. That is how you get the best benefits. The third reason why they fail is that they miss to look at the big picture, and they miss to look at the big picture in two ways. They don't think about scale up. That is, they launch an initiative, they experiment with some digital technologies, even though it's business driven or the selection of the use cases is really business driven. They fail to look at what's going to happen once this first initiative is successful, and that creates frustration. That's creating frustration just because when the initiative is successful, you have created momentum. You have created an appetite on your user base to scale it up, but you're not ready because you just started looking at a very small implementation, not having in mind how you would scale it up. And the last part of the challenges that companies who try and fail face is that, again, they're not looking at the big picture in terms of architecture. That is, from a business standpoint, they were not ready to scale up. But from an architecture standpoint, they were not ready to scale up. That is, they've been creating that momentum, that appetite for data-driven operations, and they are just not technically ready to scale it up.
One of the reasons maybe is that companies' top management may have misunderstood what is the real return on investment of such an approach.
Yes, possibly. Digital is sometimes seen as a silver bullet which will solve all their company's problem in manufacturing operations, kind of automatically, while it really requires some careful thinking to figure out how you want your operations to look like and how you want your operations to be performed in the future, mid-long term, to figure out how digital will be able to support you. And this is where, when you start thinking this way, that you will get the real ROI. That is, your ROI being based on many dimensions, not just the problem solving you will get through the implementation of a digital solution. It's going to be free time released for your key assets, for your key experts to work on continuous improvement. And it has to be seen as a whole. And if you look at it as a whole, then computing an ROI does make sense.
Listening to you, I feel that management believes such projects must deliver a specific business outcomes ROI. I think, but it's just my own opinion, that this perception can be misleading because digital transformation aims should be to change the company's operation, making it more agile, resilient, and capable to resolve performance and competitiveness challenges. So the ROI should be based on the capability of the company to transform itself and have a widespread use of data within the organization. What is your opinion on this statement?
Well, Mathieu, I do really concur with what you just said. However, it does not mean that there is no ROI to be computed. It just means that you need to have a broader view approach when you're looking at the ROI computation. So it's not only I'm putting this amount of money to get this solution and I'm using it once to solve this kind of problem. You need to think a bit more broadly in the sense that this solution will help you solve similar kinds of problems over time, and you will have the same initial investment, so your ROI will improve, but also it will change the way people perform their duties as a whole, and they're going to be more efficient as well, freeing some time to tackle additional problems or to spend some time without using the digital solution on other topics. So as a whole, you need to consider the direct benefits in your ROI, but also indirect benefits coming from the fact that your experts will have more time to train newcomers and you will have sustainable operations in the long run.
I know that at Capgemini you value one concept, the concept of citizen data scientist. Could you explain this concept to us and why you think it's a significant trend?
Yes, of course. This concept is not really new overall. It is just new in the manufacturing operations domain because the concept of citizen data scientist and business intelligence, you've seen that in IT or for dashboards in companies for a decade or two already. When I joined Capgemini 20 years ago, we had already business intelligence practices and people working just on that for our customers. However, it was in sales, it was in procurement, it was in other functions of the company. What is happening now is that thanks to the widespread availability of solutions like OI Analytics or our own performance platform, manufacturing performance platform, operations people now have the right tools to leverage advanced analytics solutions, advanced analytics algorithm in their day-to-day life. And this is what has been changing. And once they have tried it, they will want to continue using it on a daily basis.
On your opinion, what are the pillars an industrial company should rely on to deploy the citizen data scientist approach within its organization?
I would see three main pillars to consider to successfully deploy this concept across operations. The first one is creating awareness and building momentum, which mostly consists in just planting the seeds of a data-driven operation culture through concrete proof of value or concrete implementation so that people can relate to what they've been seeing in the company. And you take for this, you implement your digital approach and the data-driven operation solutions with a subset of your workforce, the people who are already digitally aware, the people who have this appetite already, and they will be therefore becoming the change agent to convince the other people. So first pillar is awareness and momentum creation. The second one is the implementation of a user-friendly, business-ready solution. That is, again, like OI Analytics, like our own manufacturing performance platform, because you do need a tool in the end. You do need a tool that makes all the advanced features accessible in a very easy way. The motto we have is basically you should be able to use these solutions in manufacturing operations as long as you've got the basic level of Lean Six Sigma capabilities and you've been trained to that. That should be good enough for you to leverage the well-designed digital solutions. The third pillar is really to set up an adequate deployment support organization. That is, of course, you can give the tool to people, but if you want to accelerate the pace at which this solution will be adopted and increase the amount of use of that solution, you need to provide support to the user. And the kind of support that I'm referring to is really twofold. On one side, you can do things on behalf of your users. That is, your users first and initially came to you to solve a problem. Then you can have the dedicated team serving them and doing the analysis, doing the dashboard on their behalf. Then, once they've seen that once, they will want to be able to do it themselves, which is then leading us to the second part of the support you need to set up, which is just to provide them with training and a few typical support services. Level 1, answering questions. Level 2, adding a data point to the database for them to use in their own design dashboards.
It seems that this is changing a lot the way industrial organizations behave. Particularly, I think, when you are talking about organization with multiple plants. What is your experience on that?
What I have seen working well is along the lines of what I just described. That is, if you've got multiple sites and a reasonably sized company, what you would want to do is set up a small team making a kind of COE that is going to help your users, your end users in the plants, on the manufacturing lines, to make the best out of the digital solutions that they are being handed over. This COE team is going to do 2 or 3 things: ingest data, make data available, build a few dashboards or perform some analysis on behalf of the teams for the first time, on the production teams for the first time, and then we'll just provide typical level 1, level 2 support in the long term. This is the kind of organization that we have designed and implemented for our customers. This is also the kind of organizations that we provide as a service to our customers.
That leads the way to one last question: is how do you support your customer in implementing this kind of approach?
Well, it's a very good question indeed, Mathieu. And the answer is simple. We just do all what I've just described. That is, we help our customers figure out what are the best use cases, what kind of solutions they should be aiming for, what kind of skills they need. And if they don't have those skills, we can provide them. That is, the skills for data engineering, setting up the data pipes, ingesting the data into the solutions, configuring the solutions so that you can do that multiple angle analysis with batch aggregation or per production line aggregation or per raw material aggregation. And we are running the analysis, we are building the dashboards if they need to for the first time to create and build that momentum I was mentioning previously, and then we can support them in the long run. So, and we do any or all depending on the customer and their will. We have a very good customer we started working with 3.5 years ago. We did the initial data ingestion. We did the first dashboard. We solved problems, and you know that customer. It's an analytics customer as well, a big CPG company. And then we handed over to the teams, and now they've created this COE and this community of people leveraging the solution. We are doing it in a similar way in the chemical industry in order just to accelerate the deployment pace so that the customer can get to benefits faster. And for that customer, in a year from now, we will be fully handing over everything to them, and they will be able to go without us.
So it means now it will be fully autonomous.
It will be this customer will be autonomous. That's the way they wanted to do. So we're just an accelerator in that case.
Very clear. Thank you very much, Daniel, for sharing this valuable insight with us.
Thank you for hosting me. My pleasure.